Episode 5. Return to Normalcy, or Not. Thomas and Emma returned to Elmsworth to find the villagers reappearing one by one, disoriented but alive. Joy and relief spread through the village as families reunited and friends embraced. The oppressive fear that had gripped Elmsworth began to dissipate, replaced by a fragile sense of hope. Days passed, and the village slowly returned to its routine. But Thomas and Emma couldn't shake a lingering unease. Shadows seemed to linger at the edge of their vision, and strange whispers filled the air at night. They tried to dismiss these feelings as remnants of their ordeal, but deep down, they knew something was wrong. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows over the village, Thomas and Emma sat by the fire in the village square, sharing their concerns. "Do you feel it too?" Emma asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "Like we're being watched?" Thomas nodded, his eyes scanning the darkening forest. "I can't shake the feeling that something is still out there. What if we didn't destroy the heart of the curse?" Their conversation was interrupted by a blood-curdling scream. They jumped to their feet and ran towards the source, finding a group of villagers huddled together, their faces pale with terror. "It's Jacob," one of them stammered. "He's gone mad, attacked his own wife." Thomas and Emma pushed through the crowd to find Jacob, his eyes wild and unseeing, muttering incoherently. His wife lay on the ground, unconscious but alive. "Jacob," Thomas said gently, trying to reach him. "It's us, Thomas and Emma. You're safe now." But Jacob's eyes fixed on them with a chilling intensity. "It's not over," he whispered. "The shadows, they're still here." Before anyone could react, Jacob convulsed and collapsed, his body lifeless. The crowd gasped and a cold dread settled over the village. The shadows had returned. That night, the villagers locked themselves in their homes, fear gripping their hearts. Thomas and Emma stayed together, determined to find a way to protect the village. They pored over the old journal, searching for any clues they might have missed. As the hours passed, the whispers grew louder and the shadows pressed closer. It was as if the darkness was alive, feeding on their fear. In the early hours of the morning, Emma stumbled upon a final, cryptic entry in the journal. "The pact cannot be broken. The heart of the altar is but a vessel. The true power lies within the bloodline. To end the curse, the blood must be spilled." Emma's blood ran cold as she read the words. "The bloodline, it means us. The curse will only end if we die." Thomas stared at her, the weight of their realization settling over them like a shroud. "It can't be true," he whispered. "There must be another way." But deep down, they knew the truth. They had been the ones to awaken the curse, and only their sacrifice could end it. With heavy hearts, they made their decision. As dawn broke, Thomas and Emma stood in the village square, facing the villagers they had fought so hard to save. "We know how to end the curse," Thomas announced, his voice steady despite the fear gnawing at him. "But it will require a great sacrifice." The villagers watched in stunned silence as Thomas and Emma explained the final entry in the journal. Tears filled their eyes, but they nodded in understanding. The shadows had to be stopped, no matter the cost. Hand in hand, Thomas and Emma walked to the center of the square. With a final tearful glance at the villagers they had come to love, they made the ultimate sacrifice. As their blood touched the earth, the ground trembled, and a blinding light erupted from the spot. The shadows screamed in agony, dissolving into nothingness. The curse was lifted, but at a terrible price. Thomas and Emma's bodies lay still, their faces peaceful in death. The village mourned their loss, but they knew their sacrifice had saved them all. Life slowly returned to Elmsworth, but the memory of Thomas and Emma's bravery and love would never fade.